In yoga, we get so up close and personal with our bodies, which is lovely and great, except on those days where it feels really tough. And we don't feel great in our bodies, and we don't want to see our bodies and be faced with them all the time. And so this is a flow for those days where it feels more of a challenge to be confident about your body and moving through space. So put on your most comfortable clothes. I've got my PJs on, so that you feel as good as you can. And let's get on the mat. We're going to start today in a tiny curled up little child's pose. So bringing your knees as wide as you would like them. Mine are as wide as the mat. And I'm bringing my arms around to kind of hold on to the soles of my feet. So really creeping myself into a tiny little safe, secure ball. And just take 3 really deep breaths here. And with each exhale, can you just imagine you're relaxing just a little bit more? Even if it's just one little finger relaxing, one toe, your forehead, your jaw. And then bring your breath to a more natural in and out through the nose. Now, full disclaimer, I very nearly did not step onto the mat today. I've had a little cry. I am not having I feel great and comfortable in my own skin day today. And I've had to kind of force myself onto here. But I really would like to, because I would like this to make other people realise that other people feel this too, right? I think we all have days where we do not feel like we would like lots of people to see us, or we do not feel like moving our body around in space or putting on tight leggings or anything like that. So, full disclaimer, if I burst into tears halfway through this, I apologise. But I also don't, because it's true, right? And real. And this is what happens during yoga. So, take a couple more deep breaths here in your tiny little child's pose. Just a moment for grounding. Starting in this pose that's kind of really internal and keeps us kind of down to the ground. But it's also quite confronting, right? Because we are literally touching most of our body now instantly. So if you are feeling not great about yourself today, it might be really hard. So just know that as well. And can you just check in with whatever feelings you are feeling? So notice that. Notice if you feel uncomfortable. Notice if you feel sad, emotional. Notice if you feel worried or anxious or angry or like you want to scream. Notice what you feel. And then really gently, if your arms are wrapped back behind you, creep your arms forward. And we're going to lift ourselves up to all fours. So just bringing ourselves up, hands stacked underneath shoulders, knees under hips. And let's take some cat-cow. A nice couple of moves that we know well. We know where we're going, the body finds naturally. So lower the belly, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest on your inhale. Exhale to press down through the hands, scoop your spine all the way up and back. Inhaling, dropping the belly, roll the shoulders back, as big or as small as you would like today. Whatever feels good to you right now, right here. Any little movements, sways side to side as you're doing this are very welcome. Just finding a couple of moves that we know well to bring us in to our bodies today. Lovely. Take one more round here, each way. And then when you come back through center, walk your hands slightly in front of you, shift your weight so that your shoulders now stack over your wrists, but a little bit forward, and lower yourself all the way down to the ground, sending those elbows back behind you. Lovely. Flat on the ground. Let's just stay here for a whole breath. So inhaling in and exhaling out. And then on your next inhale, can you lift up to a cobra? Keep it small. Press those hips, those tops of feet down into the floor. Roll the shoulder blades down the back. And then on your next exhale, sink it back down. Inhale, let's lift up to our knees. And exhale, let's send it back to that child's pose. Back to that folded position, facing down towards the mat. Then as you inhale, look up towards your fingers. Let's walk them over to the right slightly. Can you press your left hand on top of your right hand? Press your hips back over to the left as you release your body back down, or wherever it comes to, finding a stretch through the side. And then let's start to walk those hands back through center and off to the left. This time placing right hand on top of left, pressing through the lower body over to the right as you find a fold here. Deep breath in and out. And then walk those hands back to center. Now gently lift yourself up. You're going to find that half plank again. So hands go slightly forward, shoulders stack over wrists. And then exhale, release your way down to the floor. Let's take a whole breath here again. So flat down on the floor, inhaling and exhaling. And then spread through the fingers. Inhale, find a cobra, as small as you would like here. Exhaling to send it back down. Inhale, let's press all the way back to our child's pose. Sink the hips back towards the heels. And then inhale, look up towards the fingers, walk them to the left. Right hand comes on top of left. The bottom half of the body eases over to the right. Find this fold. And then walk the hands back through center and all the way over to the right. Left hand on top of right. Hips ease over to the left. Find this stretch through the side of the body. And then walk the hands back through center. Lift yourself back up, hands go slightly forward, toes tuck this time. And can you lift your hips all the way up to the ceiling, downward facing dog? Just take a breath here. Moving slowly and rhythmically to try and kind of, I don't know, I find myself chaotic and like overwhelmingly sad, and simple tasks can be quite difficult to follow if I'm feeling really not happy with myself. And so having this kind of routine to what we're doing, this gentle rhythm, let's keep you with me. Can you start to walk your hands back towards your feet? So coming all the way to the back of the mat. And you're in a fold here, dangling yourself down over your legs. And release the tip of your head down towards the mat. Drop your hands. You could grab a hold of opposite elbow. Anything that feels good to you. Maybe there's some movement. Maybe you're pretty still. And then tuck your chin into your chest and roll all the way up. Roll the shoulders back when you come to stand. And then take your feet as wide as the mat, or kind of wider than hips width anyway. And we're just going to kind of find a repetitive movement to try and find some energy back in the body. So keep a little softness in the knees. We're going to swing from side to side like you've got a massive coat or a skirt that you're swinging from side to side.
And I want you to kind of go where your energy takes you. So if you're feeling a little lethargic and like you want to be slow here. If you are feeling like you've got loads of energy, maybe angry or just maybe lots of chaotic, anxious energy, then feel this with your arms. But just keep it moving, whether you're going fast or slow. Your hands could hit against your body here. Now please be gentle, because especially if you're having a day like me, you might feel quite angry towards your body and want to hit. Please be gentle with tapping our body, but it's kind of getting us back into our body, getting back connected, okay? I promise. Keep with it for a couple more breaths. And then let yourself be still. And just wiggle your feet maybe slightly closer to hip width. Take a moment, and then if you can, close your eyes and you might lift your arms up to a V shape above you. And I kind of want to encourage you to make your upper arms as wide as possible as we just take a breath here. Standing with our body strong and proud, no matter what we're actually feeling about it now. Can you find some strength and pride in standing here, even if it's just for getting yourself onto this mat on a day like today where it didn't feel like it was going to happen? And then gently release the hands down. If your eyes are closed, gently batting them open again. And then tuck your chin into your chest and gently roll yourself all the way down. And can you walk your hands back to that downward facing dog? Now inhale, either lift your right leg or step it straight through between your hands. So either lifting it up first and stepping it through, or bringing it through between those hands. Ground the back foot and rise up into a warrior two. Sending the arms out to the side. There's some space between your legs. But again, I want you to feel the power here. Let's gaze over that third finger on the right hand. Keep that bend in the front knee. Feel the strength and the power here as your legs keep you from falling, right? Keep you stable and steady and strong. Let's take it back to reverse warrior. So flip that front palm, reach it forward, send the arm back. And either staying like this, or can you wrap right arm over left? I'm still looking up past that right knee, but giving myself a bit of a hug. You might inch your hands through between your shoulder blades. Take a breath here. And then if those arms are wrapped, release them out. We're going to send the hands down around the front foot. We're going to bring that back knee down to the ground. Untuck the back toe. We're in a lunge. And then reach all the way up with your arms and bring your hands clasped behind the back of your head. Open your elbows out and lift the heart. It can be really tempting to kind of hide ourselves and to cover ourselves and to keep ourselves where we kind of want to be, right? Hidden if we're not feeling great about ourselves. We don't want anyone else to have the chance to judge us or to see us. Can you really open your chest here, open your elbows wide and be here? And then gently release your hands from the back of your head. We're going to walk this right foot over to the left-hand side of the mat. Bring the knee down to the mat as we find a pigeon pose. So maybe gently look round to that back leg. Maybe tuck the toe, edge the foot back a little. And find this pigeon, rolling your right hip back, feeling your hips square off towards the front. And either staying here or taking a fold down to your forearms. Maybe your forehead comes down towards the mat. Whatever feels good here. And take a breath. Let yourself sink. Relax your fingers. Relax your forehead. Relax your shoulders. Allow it to be only the bits that are working to be the bits where there's tension. Take one more breath here. And then gently start to walk your hands back towards you. I'm going to bring that right knee back so that you're on all fours here. And then walk your arms forward. Send your bum high. Release your chest all the way down to the mat. We're finding a puppy pose. So that bum is staying over the knees. You can bring these arms as wide as you would like if that feels better on the shoulders. Bringing your forehead down towards the mat. Or your chin if you want a little neck stretch, but just be careful with that one. Send your bum up and back, surrendering yourself, letting your heart, your chest drop towards the mat. One more breath here. And then gently looking up towards your fingers, start to edge your hands back in so that they're just in front of your shoulders. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. And let's step that left foot, either lifting it first or stepping it straight through between the hands, grounding that back foot and rising to our warrior two on the other side. Set it up from the feet up, so make sure that they're solid, the feet are grounded, you're not on one edge of one foot. Spread those toes, spread the arms out. Feel strong here, even if you're not feeling strong today. Even if that is not, when you search inside your mind, that's not one of the things that's coming up. Can you embody some strength, even if it's not how you feel? And then flip the front palm, reach it forward. We're going to send it back to our reverse warrior. Maybe bringing that left arm on top, right arm under to find that hug. Keep that chest lifting forward, keep that bend in the knee. Take one more deep breath here. And release the arms, bring the hands around this front foot as you bring the back knee to the floor, untuck the toes, and let's come up to that lunge again. Bringing hands behind the head, opening those elbows wide, rolling the shoulders back, lifting the heart. Being brave to be here and not folded up. Being strong and open. And then gently release the hands. Bring the hands around this front foot, wiggle this foot over to the right hand side, and then lay the knee down towards the floor. Come down into that pigeon pose on the other side. Whatever you did on the other side, maybe tucking those back toes just to edge that foot back a little, and then folding yourself down. I remember having like a slight change in perspective, right? Because a lot of the time where, especially in this day and age, where we feel uncomfortable in our body is because we feel heavy or we feel more than we should or bloated and bigger and clothes feel tight and things like that. And a friend who lived in India for a while was saying that she got such a different perspective from these women who were like, I want to be heavy and I want to take up space because that's how I feel safe and strong. And kind of thinking about that, I don't know, can change your perspective on, I guess, what you thought should be one way or the other, right? Challenges your perspective. Why should sinking and kind of feeling that weight mean one thing, when actually it also means so many other things? So take one more breath here. And then start to walk your hands up towards you. Bring that knee back. So you're in all fours. Keep the bum over the knees as you send the arms forward for that puppy pose once more. Maybe taking the arms out wide if that felt a bit better for you. But concentrating on sinking the heart, the chest, down towards the mat. Relax your face and your jaw. Relax your toes. And then gently start to lift your gaze towards your hands. Walk the hands back towards you as you send the knees wide and find your child's pose once more. Sinking down into this. Take some really deep breaths here. Come back to that breath. Just check in with how you're feeling. Similar feelings to when you peeked inside your mind at the beginning. Maybe different, maybe a combination of both. Check back in. What are you feeling right now? And slowly, gently lift your gaze towards your hands. Slowly lift yourself up just to come to a seat. Make sure there's some space behind you on your mat, because we're going to come straight down, rolling the body all the way down, bringing the knees into the chest and just squeezing your knees in towards you. Holding all of your body in one space here, curling yourself up into a ball. And then before we go down towards our Shavasana, our resting place, you can go straight there if that's what you're feeling. Or if, like me, you've got a little anger inside of you. Angry for feeling like this, right? Angry for getting annoyed or getting upset when we don't feel comfortable in our bodies. Like, it just feels ridiculous and indulgent and stupid. So if you're like me and you've got some anger, stick your legs up in the air, your arms up in the air. And before we go down, almost like a child throwing a tantrum, start to push some energy through legs, through arms. You could yell, shaking yourself out. Faster for 3, for 2, for 1, and then gently let yourself fall. Now let's take up space, right? Legs wide, arms wide. Taking some deep breaths. And can you just say a phrase to yourself a couple of times? I accept the way my body is today. I accept the way my body is today. I accept the way my body is today. Maybe you say this a couple more times in your head. And then this is where I'm going to leave you. But thanks so much for joining me. I'm glad I got out in front of the camera today. And I hope you're glad too, that you moved a little bit. sending you so much love to wherever you are. And let me know if you enjoyed this. See you on the mat next time.